first round pick. Hey, throw that list away. All right.
Why are we around?
Yo, welcome to the show. It's a Chiefs Blitz night. Breaking down the plays, keeping everything tight. From Mahomes to the defense, we give you the scoop. Real talk, real stats, we the ultimate troop. This ain't no game, it's our passion on display.
The baby himself.
Chiefs Blitz podcast, real fans unite. Every touchdown scored, we ignite the night. From tailgate chatter to post-game debate, we love our Chiefs, yes, never too late.
I would even bring NBS back in the middle of the season.
What? Are you ready for the best Kansas City Chiefs insight? Welcome to the Four Guys in a Bar, sponsored by ChiefsBlitz.com, presented by UnderdogFantasy.com. Here's your Chiefs Blitz host, Nick Athan, with Lou Montagna, Andre Tillman, and Hense Todd.
All right, welcome to the next edition of Four Guys in a Bar, presented by ChiefsBlitz.com, your top source for Chiefs news. I am your host, Nick Athan, along with Mr. Hense Todd, Mr. Lou Montagna, and Coach Andre Tillman, making up the Four Guys in a Bar. What's up, gents?
What's happening?
Right. Belly up, baby. Belly up.
Belly up.
Free Diddy.
Belly up and buckle up.
Oh, God, don't even go there.
Hey, he's free though. Hey, my guy.
But again,
ain't nothing in this world free, young man.
So you guys know my affinity for Sophie Cunningham and the Indiana.
Oh, yeah.
So they won the Commissioner's Cup last night.
Absolute.
Caitlin didn't play. A lot of other players stepped up. Sophie had a big game. But the more I learn about her, she played hoops at Missouri.
She did.
I believe she played high school football. She was a kicker.
Yep.
Yeah.
So she's a little bit of a badass. And I guess just the icing on the cake is that she's pretty damn hot. But
Hello, Lou.
A ton of social media followers with their TikTok dances and so forth. So this team's going to get a little bit of an edge here. Caitlin comes back.
Yeah, some epic videos last night. That's for sure. That's
feeling it for the fever, baby.
Yeah, I don't know about the Dallas Wings though.
She also made a comment on how upset she is. The WNBA. Yeah, the WNBA. She made a comment that WNBA should not have expanded in Philadelphia, Cleveland, and Detroit. That they should have come to Kansas City, where Patrick Mahomes are rumored to have put a group together.
Well, again, I don't know. The way I heard her comments, it was more that she was maybe a little bit concerned that the league might be expanding a little too quickly.
She mentioned that too.
So I guess the idea is that, and I would imagine just about any league goes through this, is that, okay, we're on this wave. Is it going to continue? Is there enough talent to make it a competitive league, or are we just going to have like 3 or 4 top-heavy team, be a top-heavy league? So it remains to be seen. We'll see. I mean, Golden State came in this year. I think Toronto next year, and then those 3 other cities as we move towards 2030 or 2031.
The NBA is running this ship, and they're going to run it in the ground. So I would imagine it'll be a different league at some point in the next 5 or 6 years, is my guess. But you can't just load up on the East Coast teams. You can't just piggyback the NBA teams, especially in markets where some of the NBA teams are the worst in the business and worst in the league. So, I think they missed a golden opportunity to go to like Kansas City, even Louisville, or some small towns more in the Midwest. I think they're dropping the ball.
Hey, real quick, I'm gonna give a shout out. Go ahead, Bo.
If I'm them looking at Kansas City Current, and I'm looking at how they fan base, and they got their stadium's always packed. You know what I mean? Yep. So you want to, and if I'm looking at that, if I'm the WNBA, I'm like, okay, cool. They got a fan base there. They're always going to have a fan base. How can we get some of these women to support WNBA as well? I know I would. So bring them to Kansas City, because Adam Tycher has some stuff that he said on the stadium that I heard as well. But
hey, guys, young man, let me give some love to Angel Reese, man. She had a lot of scrutiny early in her career, but with the proper trainer, Angel Reese starting to look good. She's gonna look like a premier player right now. She's been slapping double doubles by 17 a pop.
Never.
17-10 a pop. I gotta give her some love.
I don't think there was ever any question how good she is and how it just kind of like her style of play, I think, fits the league because she's I don't want to say she's a bully, but she does kind of play bully ball and she gets a ton of rebounds. So that is a skill. I think where it just came into, kind of the crosshairs was the fact that, I mean, Caitlin Clark was just a supernova that came in at the same time and is just a completely different type of player. More plays on the perimeter. She has the ball in her hands a lot more. So it's just a whole different thing. But no, Angel Reese is great. Actually, as a matter of fact, to me,
talk to him, Lou. Talk to him.
She and Caitlin playing together would be phenomenal.
They would be.
Right? Because just the fact that she's getting most of her points down low. Now, no disrespect to Boston.
What's up, DS?
But I think Angel Reese could fill that role as well. So,
hey, real quick, people in the comment section talking about yep. No, everybody know I'm a Caitlin Clark guy. I love Caitlin Clark, but I gotta give Angel Reese her credit. She's been balling. So
speaking of Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, hey, you got this going on with the underdog. So let's hear from our sponsor.
Yes, sir. Higher, lower.
That's right. Baseball is back on Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you cash in today. You can play the pick'em game. It's very similar to what you did with the NFL where you're doing the Chiefs stuff. Now it's all about baseball and especially the Royals. You can go higher or lower. It's really simple to use. Their app is amazing. You just choose your entry fee. You decide what you want to play, and you just see the winnings coming if you know what you're doing. So take a swing today and make sure that you sign up for Underdog Fantasy, and they're going to give you a meatball right off the gamut, Bobby Wood Jr. special. So start with a W for your first entry and new customers. Make sure you use the code Chiefs Blitz.
That's right. Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you use the code Chiefs Blitz. Indeed. We make it pretty simple around here. Just hit the QR code. It goes right to our page. Make sure the promo code Chiefs Blitz is in there. And then all you got to do is register, sign up, deposit $5, play $5, and you get 50 in bonus dollars. And like we've been talking about the NBA, one of our favorite topics, you can play the high or low game with WNBA. You can play it with Major League Baseball. Football preseason game is what, 4 weeks away? 5 weeks? No.
Soon.
Away. 7 weeks away.
It's within this month. No, it's within 3 weeks.
We're in July already, aren't we?
3 or 4 weeks, man.
Oh, man. Where's the time go?
Speaking of that, Lou had a special guest yesterday. So you want to get into what he said about the stadium, or what you want me to go ahead and run that for you, sir?
Let's go with it, man.
Let's hear what Adam Teicher had to say about the Chiefs stadium.
Well, it's hard to predict how these offers are going to go and how sweet one site might make it versus another site. But know this going into it, the Chiefs have a great affinity for the Arrowhead Stadium site and Arrowhead Stadium in particular. It was, of course, built when Lamar Hunt owned the team, and Clark Hunt has a great affinity for that fact that his dad was the father of that stadium, if you will, and there's some things in that stadium the Chiefs can't get if they start from scratch. So I think it's going to have to be a great offer for the Chiefs to go off the Arrowhead site. Now, not to say they wouldn't do that, but my sense is they're going to end up at that site and probably in a renovated Arrowhead Stadium. But if Kansas or some other venue comes up with a better offer, then maybe the Chiefs will decide it's time to leave. But I think that would be maybe the tiebreaker, if you will, is that their love for that site and their feeling that they can't maybe get it in new stadium what they can at Arrowhead.
What you have to say about that?
Yeah, I think he makes a good point. And I think that's the overriding sentiment right now is, the affinity of the franchise in Kansas City. And the other thing, too, is he was alluding to the sight lines at Arrowhead are second to none. They can never be duplicated. The pitch, the seating, everything, the way that stadium was designed, architecturally speaking, and construction-wise, you can't duplicate that experience. That's why Arrowhead is so unique. I mean, the lower level is really it's what I like to call grounded. You know, it's got a level slope to it. The upper deck has got a much higher pitch. So they were able to really build something very unique and very special. And he's right. If they're going to leave Kansas City, that complex, and move to Kansas, it's going to have to be an incredibly wow offer. And there's an incredibly wow offer on the table. But as Adam suggested, and stuff that I've heard as well in the last couple of days, is that sentiment is, if we can make it work at Arrowhead, whether that's to put some sort of cover over the stadium to give some sort of dome atmosphere, that we can increase our revenue. Maybe there's a good chance if they decide to keep it open air, they're just going to lose a lot of potential revenue. And you know, we'll just have to see how much Clark Hunt says enough is enough as far as how much money he needs.
Yeah. And I kind of think of the same way, because when he said that yesterday, I was like, oh, I heard the same thing. But again, let's get it right into it. His player to watch is a guy that, you know, I kind of put the golden jacket on.
So here we go. Let's hear you pulled this clip.
So let's see what he had to say about the player to watch and going into training camp.
Well, he's a guy that's gotten a little bit of buzz, seems like lately, but I've written about him as a guy who maybe is an under the radar guy who's a key player for the Chiefs, and that's Jaden Hicks. You look at what Steve Spagnuolo's done since he's been with the Chiefs. I mean, he's always had a veteran at the back end of his defense, in first Tyrann Mathieu, and then the last 3 years Justin Reed. And now the Chiefs are trusting a young guy in that role, and I want to see how he handles it. I mean, it looks like he's got what it takes, but you never know until a guy is thrown out there on an every down basis. I like a lot of the things that he did for the Chiefs last year when he played in limited situations defensively. More importantly, I think the Chiefs were pretty impressed with what he did. But that's a guy, to me, is a key for, can the defense hold up their end of the bargain? I think it's Jaden Hicks, and I want to see how he does. And to me, to some extent, how he goes might determine how the defense goes.
You just made our producer, Hense Todd, very happy. I'm sure he's in the background there doing a little bit of a jig. He loves himself some Jaden Hicks. He's got a whole gold jacket squad. I get on him about these guys that he falls in love with. They just put the gold jacket on him now. I think that came from Marty or somebody, maybe Coach Parcells.
Jaden Hicks is a guy that's on the rising board. How do you guys feel about that?
He got to prove himself this year, man. I keep telling everybody that. I hear all the season, all the sugar. He got to prove himself. Like, I hear it. He got to prove himself. Give me a full year in this system, and that man starting. And then we can have a conversation about it. Then we can go in.
The best point that he made there is that Spags is used to having like a veteran back there. So that's where it's really going to be incumbent upon him. Is
Pay attention, Ruben.
Not just, understand the defense and everything else, but have a leadership role and have the ability to get guys in the proper positions on the back end. So, I think everybody agrees he has the smarts to do it. He has the ability to do it. As Coach says, we just need to see it. That's it. But again, the question leading up to it was, maybe an under the radar or a storyline that we should be looking at going into camp outside of the offensive line and just the more obvious things.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm looking for Jaden Hicks to shine, to be the next Eric Berry. Yes, I know that's kind of big shoes to fill.
Shout out to Brandon Rice, man.
That don't mean be quiet, sir. Until I shout out Brandon Rice. Hey, Brandon Rice is still going to be the top of the guy. Never know. He probably can turn this around.
Every yin, there's a yang, right?
That's right.
Exactly.
So, let's hear what he.
Just real quick. I mean, going back to the stadium thing, I was just thinking of an analogy where, like, you hear the Steelers negotiating with TJ Watt, and then the rumors coming out that they might trade him, and the team says we don't intend on trading TJ Watt. But hell, if somebody comes up and offers them a boatload of first round picks and everything else,
he's out of here.
Let's go, man.
He's out of here.
They'll trade him in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
So that would be the Kansas situation for the Chiefs.
So let's hear what he had to say about our own Mr. Nick.
our own Nick Athan.
Nick, it's been a long time since I've run across Nick, but always enjoyed our talks back in the day, and good guy, no doubt.
Come on, Adam, be truthful. It's Nick. There
Right,
had to be something.
Okay,
there.
he's a jerk. It's just been a long time. I have not talked with Nick in a long time.
I know. I'm just kidding, because we'll be talking with him tomorrow, and I'm sure we did a little bit of a roast on him, last year. So just want to give you a second shot at it.
He says a
Appreciate
jerk.
that. Appreciate
Well,
that.
it was a good thing, but great.
Adam almost came and worked with me, so we had a good relationship. We spent a lot of time together up in River Falls, and
That's right.
We had some really great talks about the media, the Chiefs, and the history of it all. And he was, and as dialed in as anybody who's ever covered the team, and I always respected him and appreciated his friendship. He kind of walked me through some steps early in my career, and I have appreciated that a great deal.
Yeah.
So with that said, what you have for us today is Wednesday. I don't see Kareem in here, but hey, there's other people
right, gang. You know what time we did have a little fun yesterday with Adam. We did a Chief who had to give him a few extra prompts, but he came up with last week's
nice
Derek Johnson. So for any of you that haven't seen the whole thing or be interested in hearing more about what Adam had to say, just go to our YouTube page at Chiefs Blitz, and the full 44 minutes is there. And I encourage you to listen to it. Might be the last time he ever talks about the Chiefs ever. So
yeah, might be.
Yeah. So okay, here we go. The greatest game on YouTube. Documented, my friends. I'm not sure where, but it is documented somewhere. So for those of the uninitiated, I'm going to read off a series of concocted clues that, again, only make sense to me, but you will be tasked with guessing which Chief this is. All of them are clues about a classic Chief. We're staying on the nostalgia tour here. So this is a former Chief, not on the current roster. So get that out of the way right from the beginning. So here we go. In college. Well, first off, he went to college in his home state once again, so that was similar from last week. He did lead his college track team to the 4x100 relay national championship outdoors NCAA tournament, if you would. They won the 4x100. He was one of the guys. A former first-round pick in the National Football League. This ex-Chief, played for 5 different NFL teams.
Might have a winner there.
And let's see, Kenny might be on the right track.
He is.
I believe he is, yes. The winner,
my boy, Eddie
Ken St. Clair.
Dang, Ken St. Clair.
Eddie
Big Ken. Big Ken.
Last clue is two of his best seasons statistically were in Kansas City back-to-back years in 04 and 05. 62, 1,086 and 8 TDs, 68, 1,102 yards, 5 TDs in 05, and also once appeared on Kitchen Nightmares with Gordon Ramsay. So there you have it.
Oh,
That's
damn.
great.
Good deal.
Fast Eddie Kennison. Way to go, Ken.
All right. Eddie's a great dude. I've known him this whole time. He was in Kansas City. We still remain friends today. Once you had the relay, I knew it was him. Former first-round pick of the St. Louis Rams.
Yes.
Ended up going to Denver in a really bad situation with Mike Shanahan. Kind of thought his career was over. Decided to come to Kansas.
How many years was it with Denver?
2 years, maybe.
It was
maybe
short.
two.
He asked for his own release.
Yeah,
something was going on with his father or something.
It was actually his wife. His wife was sick,
okay.
and he needed to leave. And the story goes, and he's talked about it. I got an article we did together. He talked about how
the interview when we first started Chiefs Blitz.
Yeah, in the interview too. His wife was sick, and he needed to leave. And Mike Shanahan wanted him to play, and he said, "Screw it." And so he basically suspended him, and then ultimately he found his way back to Dick Vermeil, who he played with in St. Louis. The
Shout
Rams.
out to Dick Vermeil.
Yeah, and Eddie had a terrific career in Kansas City. His wife Shamika's good people, their kids. I mean, a great family man. Was just a great guy to have around and a great guy to talk to. And he always gave me advice about a lot of things. And he helped me through a really, really difficult time in my life. And I will never forget that. I will be beholden to his friendship for that. Sometimes we hit pretty dark lows, and he was there for me and really helped me get out of things. And I appreciated that a great deal. So Eddie's top shelf as far as I'm concerned. Always.
There you go. There you go.
As far as the Shanahan thing, he was, I guess, quite upset when he did sign with the Chiefs after that.
Oh, yeah. He was not happy.
But he also played with the Bears. I think Ruben has up there Seattle. And then he went back to the Rams and then eventually retired a Chief, came back, the one-day contract, the whole thing.
That man been
everywhere. This week's Chief. Brought to you by our friends at Underdog Fantasy Sports. Scan the QR code, put in the promo code Chiefs Blitz, play $5. Doesn't work out, no problem. They got your back, an extra 50 in bonus selections. And if you sign up now, our own Nick Athan will send you a piece of Chiefs memorabilia, more than likely
and
a trading card.
Trading card, yes.
There you go.
I thought it was a guitar. It's missing. I don't see it out of the boxes.
No, I got it. I got to buy some boxes. I got to deliver some stuff here next week. So
it's still collecting dust in the corner.
It is.
So with that said, speaking of wide receiver Eddie Kennison, we're gonna be talking on today's show is Brown, Mahomes to Brown, something. Yeah, go ahead and read it. Luke. Oh, yeah.
So 5 plus 15 equals 6, baby.
Hello.
That's what it says. Brown plus Mahomes equals scary hours? Question mark.
Is it really?
Is it? I don't know.
Is it really? I don't know.
You don't know. We never got to see it yet.
It's been kind of shaky.
With Brown back, how will this impact the Chiefs' offensive strategy?
Well, I think this is going to just be another obvious weapon for Patrick Mahomes. I think
exactly.
If for those who watched the training camp, Hollywood Brown was just flying all over the field. Patrick Mahomes was throwing him deep balls, underneath stuff, and he was just excelling. He showed tremendous hands. He looked like he was in great shape. It looks like all that work that they did in the offseason prior to his first year in Kansas City, the throws in Texas and the mini camps and OTAs, bled into training camp. They seem to be on the same page. And what happens? The first play of the preseason, boom, they lose him. So I think his impact is going to be kind of what we thought it was going to be last year. With Rashee Rice coming back, 100% healthy, with Xavier Worthy, with the young man from Utah State, you put all these things together, and it's a really lethal combination. But I think he's going to be really strong, and I think he's going to be a threat, hopefully like we've seen him be in the past, especially at Baltimore.
Yeah, I'm looking at him to come back to make the offense more dynamic if he can stay, injury free. The kid, like you said, in training camp, he was showing that he can be that guy. Him and Worthy and Rice together, it's going to be impactful to see what he can come back this training camp when he up in St. Joe's, sees he come back more fluid and more healthier. Just the key things for him is to stay healthy. And I feel like when he does come back, this offense will be more scary. Just like Mango said, the scary hours. So, yes, go ahead, coach.
I don't know about scary because he's not a scary guy. You put him him against any DB out here, they locking him up. I'm just say that. But
come on,
you put him in a slot area, let him move around, a couple of motions and whatnot. Like you said, Nick, he's another weapon. So him staying healthy, yes, it will be another legitimate weapon for Patrick Mahomes. I don't know about scary, but it'd be another weapon for him.
Well, I think we talked about this when we're talking about X, when we're talking about Rashee. I think it's just more of the same. I think it's, again, another guy that can kind of strike a little bit of fear in the hearts of the opposing defenses. And whenever you have that threat, and it's not just one guy,
Right.
It's 2 and 3 guys where that was completely missing from the offense last year. I mean, everybody talks about, the dink and dunk. I mean, they're really, it was more of a tight end based offense. There was really none of the receivers stepped up until X kind of got going. But now if those 3 guys are healthy, meaning 1, 4, and 5, that is going to open things up so much better, so much clearer for Patrick and just make things a lot easier reads, but also again, the deep ball. Yeah. Having that ability to not just threaten the defense with the deep ball, but actually hit a bunch of them. So that's what I'm looking for with all 3 of the guys. But in this case, Hollywood's going to be a big part of that.
Yeah, man. See,
let's get to the next question, Luke.
All right. Do y'all think Brown can recapture the same level of production he had with the Ravens, or will his past injuries limit him?
What past production with the Ravens? What the hell?
Yeah, he had some good years. He had a good year with Ravens.
Do your research. He was dropping a lot of passes too, Bo.
Research. Go ahead.
He was dropping a lot of passes, bro.
Go ahead.
Despite the challenges of the quarterback that he played with in an offensive system that was run first. Was run first, pass second. He didn't really put himself in a position to where you could see the best of the best. Now, he had some good moments. He had some big plays. He also had injuries. He went to Arizona, kind of the same thing, came to Kansas City. But, I think the level of production will be greater than it was in Baltimore and probably also in Arizona. Again, this ball is going to be spread around. You've got you definitively have the best.
Yeah, look it up.
The best wide receiver core.
Nick talking right now, sir.
And then Patrick Mahomes era. I don't think there's any question that this is the best.
All right,
so it's going to be one of those pieces. And I think his production is going to be – I think it'll definitely be higher than it was at any point in Arizona or in Baltimore.
I see how Nick kind of slowly kind of.
He did. He threw a pep with me. That's all right. It's all right.
He threw the pep with Lamar. He said.
I didn't say it was because of his short quarterback.
Talking about run first. Talking about a run first throw. Yes, a run first throw. Like, all right, whatever, Nick.
But at that point of his career, that's what he was doing.
Okay.
He was. But I say Hollywood, man, his production, I think his production is going to be real good this year. I feel like, what he did in Baltimore, he did put up a good, 1,000-something plus yards with Baltimore when he was with Baltimore. So if we can get that production out of Hollywood and not the injuries, it's a lot of ifs with a lot of people, but if he can come back and show that he can do what he and add on from that year that he had with Baltimore and come back to be, come out to be one of the targets that Lou said, because he's going to have, Worthy, Rice, and have one of those guys who just can step up. If he's that guy to step up, not will I be, right? Because the contract year is undefeated. The contract year last year for him was, he got a shoulder injury, but he can come out. This could be his contract year as well. So
yeah, that's true.
I think he can add on to that. So go ahead. We're gonna skip Drake and go to Lou.
You ain't skipping me. You will not skip me, sir, because what I'm about to say is facts. Okay. When he was in Baltimore, he was okay. He wasn't the best thing smoking in Baltimore. All right, he was dropping passes, ladies and gentlemen. They was tired of that. Yeah, he got the speed, but he didn't have the hands. Now, you go to Arizona, yes, he was okay, but was he getting locked up by some of the premier DBs? Yes. Right. He's okay, but he's an injury prone, ladies and gentlemen. He's an injury prone. The man didn't even scratch the surface of Kansas City because he got banged up. Somebody tripped him and he got banged up. I think his shoelace was untied. Shoelace was untied, and boom, down goes Hollywood. They didn't even touch the man. But I'm gonna say this. Hollywood Brown, if he can get out of harm's way. If we can get out of harm's way, then we'll see. Get out of harm's way first.
He's gonna say he tripped over his shoelaces.
I'd hate to be coach's microphone right now because that thing is just slathered in spit.
It's slathered with love. Damn it,
coming out of there. My goodness.
Yeah.
Pow. Well, in terms of past injury, hell, yes, he has been injury prone. You can't get around that. But I don't know that he's had such horrific injuries that it's going to limit his play. Again,
the shoelace
healthy in this year. So I don't. If that's the way we were going with the question, as far as past injuries, I think he'll be good. In terms of the same production as Baltimore, I think he can be productive on this team. But I think Coach hit, on a pretty salient point is that Rice is going to get a lot of targets.
Yeah.
X is going to get a lot of targets.
Right.
Kelsey is going to get a lot of targets. Hollywood may not get a ton, but I guess what we're looking for from all the receivers is how efficient are they with the targets that they get.
Yeah.
So it may not have to be like a fantasy football thing where he's 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns, whatever. It may not look like that, but his impact on the game and on the other team's defense is certainly going to be there. And I truly believe that. Now, if he has 60 catches, 800 yards, scores 5 or 6 touchdowns, and a couple of them are deep balls, that's good enough if the other guys are producing the way you think they're going to. So is he going to have the type of year that all of a sudden gets him this huge contract? It's probably not it. I mean, this is the same conversation I think we were having a few years ago when everybody was talking about the Chiefs getting a number 1 receiver.
Right.
It didn't matter. Kelsey's going to get was going to get the bulk of the target. So whoever came in as the number 1 receiver was going to be the number 2 target.
Yep, exactly.
So he may not get the targets that show these gaudy numbers,
but
he can still be pretty damn productive in this offense and make a huge difference because of what he does for the other guys on routes where he may not get targeted.
Hey, that's a key point, though. Guys, the Chiefs got so many weapons. He's not going to have contract year stats. No, he's going to be okay.
He's not looking for contract year stats.
He's not. He's going to be a motion guy, Nick, a motion guy. Somebody come out the backfield, little gadget guy. It's fine. It's fine. It's part of the offense.
You don't know shit about wide receivers, do you?
Yeah, not about him.
Nick,
I'm gonna say Larry Fitzgerald, Nick, right there, Larry Fitzgerald.
Okay,
I dropped the mic. I dropped the mic, Nick.
Is he a gadget guy too?
Yeah, Larry was good.
Listen, Nick, I dropped the mic.
Hollywood Brown is not a gadget receiver. Trust me, he's not a guy who's going to come out of the backfield. He's not going to line up in the backfield. He's going to run crossers. He's going to play underneath. He's going to be a go-to guy down the field. You're not giving the kid enough credit. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he's going to lead
Arizona. I know.
Well,
I'm speechless. I just don't know how to, I don't know how to react to that kind of nonsense.
Well, let's go and get to the next. It's a Wednesday.
Right, so can Hollywood become a consistent deep threat for Patrick, similar to his role with the Ravens? Keep going back to the Ravens, man.
That's all the season he had. So.
Yeah.
Well,
I hate to say it, but he had a better quarterback in Baltimore than he did in Arizona, which is not saying a whole lot. Not saying a whole lot. And you know how I feel about Lamar Jackson. I'm not a fan, but that's just me. I think when he was drafted, and I think when you saw some of the explosive plays they made together early in that season, and obviously in the second year he wanted out and just didn't want to play in that system, and I can't say I blame him because it's where wide receivers go to end their careers. So I think if you look at his abilities and the things that he brought to the team, they just didn't use him like they should have, and that created a lot of angst. The Chiefs will use him up to his abilities. And so I think that deep threat, let's Rice has got really good speed. Xavier's got world-class speed. And then you got, Hollywood Brown, who's kind of somewhere in between the two. And, he can get open and he can separate himself. And he's got the one thing that I was most impressed with at training camp last year was his hands and the ability to catch tough passes, over the shoulder. Not necessarily where the ball's intended to go. He makes adjustments. He's got terrific hands. And I thought that was huge. So yeah, can he be a consistent deep threat? I think he can be a deep threat, but he's not going to be the only one on this team.
Yeah.
Consistent. I got you.
I think he can be a consistent deep threat. You know, it's summertime, right, guys? You know, there's a lot of carnivals is going on. I don't know if they had the thing back in the day. I know you seen, you see the movie, was it Big with Tom Hanks when they had the Ouija thing right there. He made his wish. If Hollywood Brown can go make his little wish at the little thing at the little I don't know what this called back in the day. What was it called? You go to the make your wish at the carnival, and if he goes,
it was Zoltan or
Zoltan, yeah,
whatever.
You talking about a little mannequin dude, a little mannequin thing or some shit?
Yeah. If he can go to the carnival, find one of those, and make a wish to say, "Hey, I don't want to be injured up, boy. Let me be the best deep threat wide receiver in the game for Patrick Mahomes." I think it is possible. I think he can come out and be the deep threat for the Patrick Mahomes that similar role that we have with the Ravens. Besides, until they took it away from him, want to be a more running game. And like Nick said, better quarterback, when you have with the Ravens, and probably the best quarterback he's going to have with Patrick Mahomes, in his career when it's all said and done. So. If he can come back and show what they was doing in training camp and putting that training camp tape onto the field, what he tried to do instead of getting hurt, and I think that he can be that deep there for Patrick Mahomes. Sir.
Keep his ass away from preseason. Keep him away from preseason.
Don't
you
play
keep him away from preseason, then we good. Keep him away from preseason, and then we know what he is. I'm not gonna say nothing. You keep your shoelaces tied and keep him away from the preseason, and we're good. Now we can see Hollywood Brown get off.
All right, I gotta take a question. Broncos tube. Chiefs receiving core is not good this year. All right, Broncos tube. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna make you a bet. I think the Chiefs receiving core, and that includes tight end Travis Kelce because he's technically a receiver. They will have more yards than the Broncos receivers do. I guarantee it. I will place a very modest bet with you. You can come up with the terms, and we'll grind this out through the entire season.
Damn.
But I think the Chiefs receiving core is going to be very, very, very good this year.
Broncos said
and I'm a fan, of your quarterback, so this isn't a slight there. I just think I just think that Patrick Mahomes is going to go scorched earth this year. I really do.
Yeah. I don't think the Broncos are going to be that good this year, so. Go ahead.
No, I disagree with you. I think they're going to be really good this year.
I think the quarterback going to have to slump more. He's going to run into the
Bronco, take that bet, Bronco. Take that bet. That's a good bet there. That's money.
Let me say this. If he hadn't had all those starts in college, I would agree with you that the sophomore slump is probably something to expect. But I don't see that. I don't see that. I think I don't bet dollars. We'll have to bet something else.
Bronco said put 50 on the wood, man.
Any of the guys that have come in with those gaudy number of starts. I mean, Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix. I mean, this year Tyler Shuck to a degree, but there's other ones. I think the kid in Cleveland right now, the kid that started for Oregon last year. His name escapes me right now.
I can't remember.
But Dylan Gabriel. So he's had it. I mean, UCF, Oklahoma, Oregon. So all these guys have done that. And I think Bo Nix will be better. I just don't. I think as much as Sean relies on the running backs to get a lot of yardage, whether it's handing it to him or throwing it to him, you got Cortland Sutton, Marvin Mims. I mean, you're evidently Broncos tube is banking on Evan Ingram having a big year. We'll see. I mean, it's an interesting bet. I guess what I would say about this question is that I think just having this entire crew together and the fact that they have very, multiple skills each, that they're not going to have a specific role like 100% of the time. I think they are going to, be interchangeable. And you may have, Rasheed going deep on certain routes. You might have the other guys crossing. You might have the two speedsters, going down the field. And I think each of them can handle it. So it'll be interesting to see how this all kind of shakes out. But I mean, we're just answering the question over and over again. I think we all believe that if Hollywood is healthy, he is going to be effective and, take advantage of the fact that the other two guys are on the field with him.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. But answer Broncos too. Yeah, we ain't taking bets here. Because I think, I don't think the Broncos is going to be.
I'm not gonna bet cash. So we'll
Broncos too. But if you haven't already, sign up at Underdog Fantasy Sports, and I'm sure there's some sort of prop in there for.
Broncos said, "Stop playing, guys. Stop playing." You wanted to. Hey, Broncos said, "What you want to do?" Broncos like, "What you want to do?"
Take advantage of it all you can, and that $50 actually will be your little
50
bonus
on the
game,
wood.
your bonus.
There you go. There you go. That's one way to do it. Now we'll make a fair wager for sure.
Okay. It's a
Right.
wager.
Right.
Okay.
But speaking of the ALC West, do y'all really think there's going to really be a threat to the Chiefs this year?
Oh,
yeah,
the Broncos. Hell yeah.
I'm talking about coming out the West. Do you think any?
Yeah, I think the Broncos and the Chargers are going to be better. They'll be in another season under their relatively new coaches, right?
Yeah,
I mean, Peyton now, a couple of years with his quarterback. Harbaugh, second year with his quarterback, and some of the additions that they've made, just being in that program another year and building that culture. They draft a stud running back in the first round. So I think they're going to be improved. Now, is it going to be enough to overtake the Chiefs? I don't know, because if you look at the games, even, in the iterations that they were last year, the games were tight, but all the Chiefs games were tight. So it's going to be competitive. I think the Raiders are going to be much improved. I think now, again, not the challenge for the division, but that's going to be a real team. Even if it's the talent isn't quite up to the rest of the division, Pete Carroll's just going to have that team believing they can win every week. And that's a huge deal. And that's just the way he is. So it's going to be an interesting, interesting division, man, for sure.
Because the Reds got a lot of pieces, man. Reds got some good pieces over there, man. Brock Bauer, Nick Yo guy. You got the young sensation in the backfield, man. Janetti. I said it right, Lou? Janetti.
You've never said it right. Okay?
I never did. That name is weird. Janetti.
It's Ashton Genty.
Damn, Genty. Gentle. So listen.
There you go.
I'm saying this. They got a good nucleus over there. Now, can they just buy in early, Nick? Can they buy in early? Because Pete Carroll's a hell of a coach. He's a hell of a coach.
That's the problem that the Raiders are going to have, because you've had such a long history of a losing culture. And a lot of these guys are carryovers. And they brought in a new GM and a new head coach, and we all love Pete Carroll. He's one of the gems of the coaching family industry, certainly in the NFL and in college.
Yep.
And he's got his style, and he took I thought an average quarterback and turned him into a very good quarterback in Seattle, and now he has him in Raiderland. So I think if you look at the division as a whole, I think the Broncos are the toughest threat for Kansas City, because their defense is going to be really good. The Chargers, I think, are going to be, who is Justin Herbert? We've seen what he can do in the regular season. He puts up great stats, but in that big game you have to win in December, and a game you got to win in January, we just haven't seen that yet. And it usually takes Jim Harbaugh's teams, and I'm, case in point, at Stanford and with the 49ers, and also with the Michigan Wolverines, it usually takes 2 or 3 years to cycle in a level of play that's consistently good. So, doing it in college is one thing, but doing it now in the NFL, they had a great draft. They got rid of some guys. They brought in some new free agents. Again, going to have great coaching up and down, and but I think for me, the Broncos are going to be a very big threat, and I think that game at home on Christmas night is going to decide who wins the AFC West, and perhaps, dare I say it, has the number 1 seed in the AFC. That's how strongly I feel that Denver's going to be.
That sounds all good, but hey, the Raiders. Dre said they got pieces. Pieces of what? The tempo. They got pieces to the tempo, and what? The wheel's going to fall off of it. I don't think the Raiders going to be there.
Well, they're not ready.
Not with Genty. Not when Genty and Brock Bowers over there, man. Mr. Genty is going to do his thing. See, look, pay attention, Lou. I got it. Genty ain't going to be. Genty going to be a bust. He's going to be a guy that come on the top of the thing. They think they're going to be good. I don't think he's going to be that great. And the Chargers,
this the year that John Harbaugh gonna say, you know what? Justin Herbert is not my quarterback. I got to go get Eli Manning. I got to go get what's his name? Manning from the Texas.
Archie Manning? Come on, Archie Manning?
I got to go. That's how bad he's gonna be. They're gonna be up there trying to get Archie Manning or trying to trade up.
Is that what you're saying? Do you want to wager, Bo? Bo, do you want to bet our wager? Do you want to wager, Bo? We can bet that.
I would give my take. Everybody gave they think. I just want to.
I want a healthy wager. I want a healthy wager with you, Bo.
I think this the year that Justin Herbert is going to show that he's not Jim Harbaugh's type of quarterback. He's going to need to go get a guy that's going to actually manage his team. And also the Broncos. Yes, they look good on paper, guys. Everything looks good in the phone book until you call the phone number in the phone book and it's disconnected. And that's what the Broncos is going to be this year, is disconnected. That's going to be that team. And the Chiefs are going to be on top of the road. Listen to me, guys. You heard it from Adam Teicher when he was on here. He said, hey, J.D. Hicks is the next rising star. He's going to be not in those words, but that's what my ears heard him say. I feel like J.D. Hicks is going to be the guy that's going to be the key factor for the Chiefs defense, and the team is going to be the undefeated once again.
Shout out to Brandon Wright. Shout out to Brandon Wright.
Shout out to Hense to ask one question, but then kind of weave it into the fact that his gold jacket is going to be a gold jacket.
Yeah.
Good job,
but
man.
my man got to step on the field this year and play a full season. That's what I'm saying.
That's all right.
I'm saying he doesn't got the talent. I'm just saying, let us see a full season with this man behind the rim.
But again, be realistic, guys. The team is
realistic.
The team is going to be. It's going to be a lot of a heck of a schedule for the Kansas City Chiefs, starting in Brazil with the Chargers. The Chiefs are going to be, on a up and coming there. Then I'm telling you, that's the day that Jim Harbaugh going to say, you know what? I need to be looking for me another quarterback. This is not my type. Not my type. This is the year.
Yeah.
Oh, Hense, I'm just reading it. He said, Hense said week 18 last year, the Chiefs backup will beat the Broncos starters. He said, what happened? Do you remember that?
They didn't want the Bengals to get in. The Bengals was coming in very hot. It was coming in very hot. So they said, you know what? We're gonna let's lay down. They were a plan for real. The plays that was running. They was running flag football plays at the Broncos and still was looking good in some kind of ways. But hey, this year, Bronco Tube, you want to take on a bet? Hey, not bet, but Nick don't want to take on the $50. I would double it. That the Broncos is not going to be good this year. Sorry, Pat Bryant.
If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-NO-GAMBLE.
Hey,
if you looked at your wife the way that Jim Harbaugh looks at Justin Herbert, she would be ecstatic. She'd be on cloud nine. Now you may say she already is, but it would be even higher because he loves him some Justin Herbert. I don't think that kid could do.
His whole NFL career is
He's a real deal. Justin, the real deal, man.
Off him. He loves that kid.
I understand that. He also love ice cream. He gonna have to move off the sherbet and go get some real ice cream, right? He gonna have to move off the sherbet and go get the real ice cream. I know it's gonna make you gassy. I know it's gonna
sherbet. I love it.
He's gonna go get the real deal. But hey, I understand all that, guys. But hey, also it's a 4th of July. What you guys got planned is coming up this Friday because we don't have a show this Friday, guys.
No,
we're gonna be out with our family. So, what's you guys' plans for the 4th before we close out?
They're going to be watching the Adam Teicher interview instead of seeing us live. Right?
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yes, we will replay that interview on Friday at 1:30. With Lou Montagna and great Adam Teicher, former writer for Kansas City Times, Kansas City Star, and of course with ESPN, covering the Chiefs beat for over 3 decades. We're just gonna go. We got a big party down the street at some friend's house. So we're just going to watch the kids go crazy, eat some good food, and shoot off some fireworks and, just have a normal 4th of July weekend.
And everybody, please don't be Pierre Paul. Don't let me out here the fireworks. Be safe with the fireworks, guys. Be safe. So with that said, guys, hey, Adam Teicher again.
Professionals handle it.
Let the professionals handle it. So with that said, guys, hey, Adam Teicher again this Friday. We're gonna rerun the show for you guys in case you missed it. And if you don't want to wait till Friday, you want to wait, go watch it right now.
Our YouTube channel. Yep.
It's up on YouTube. So with that said, guys, happy 4th of July to you guys. I hope you enjoy the Wednesday. And be safe.
See you Monday.
All right, fellas.
Peace out, guys.